All right. So speaking of coaches that believe in their players, we have one in Mauricio Pochettino, who is a little testy in the press conference after the 5-1 win against Uruguay. We got a clip of something he said. Let's take a look at it now.
Sorry, I don't want to be negative, no? But I hate that not regular players. What means? It's USA playing. It's the national team. Stop with that mindset. Every time that our decision is about to pick and start in 11, is the US men national team playing. And after 1 year, I think you need to really know me that I hate to talk in this way. It's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful because I think we need to give credit to all the guys that today were involved, and again Paraguay too. I think it's about to win games, it's to perform, and to be honest, is of course the player you need to call for their name. But I think the most important, and we were talking now in the dressing room, and that they put the team first. And we won 2 games, very difficult games against Paraguay and Uruguay, is because of all of them. And the credit is from them. But I think who won the that badge.
So some words there. Who was a little cagey, I would say. He got asked some questions that I didn't think were outside of the realm of. There's a couple things going on with I believe here when I listen to Mauricio Pochettino. One, he's been saying from day one, this is just a team. We're the U.S. national team. There's no A team or B team or C team or whatever it is. We're all in this together, and he's been consistent in that messaging in press conferences, and I'm sure with the group from the very beginning. So I'm sure he's just tired of maybe having to answer the same type of questions. 2, I actually think there was probably a level of emotion where he didn't just beat his former mentor, Chuck. He absolutely decimated and potentially maybe got him on the precipice of being fired or resigning, because Bielsa at times will just be like, I'm not ready. You know, I've run my race. I'm out. And I wonder if there was a little element of that too, because Bielsa wasn't necessarily warm. He doesn't, not that he exudes warmth in general, at least publicly. After the game, when they shook hands, because I think he knew that this was embarrassing. And so I wonder if Mauricio Pochettino was carrying a little bit of that into it, because you would think he would have come into it a little bit more like he did against Paraguay. After the Paraguay game, he was like, man, what a performance. My team rocks. You know, he's kind of that. I'm paraphrasing his energy here. Mm-hmm. But in this one, he kind of came in a little cagey, and I wonder if there was some extra emotion going in because he just absolutely embarrassed his mentor. I don't know, Chuck. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I think, again, there's balance, right? We can't be too high when things like we're beating Paraguay, we're beating Uruguay, we're on a 5-game unbeaten run. You know, we talk about signature wins. Like if this had been a Copa America or a World Cup qualifying group stage game, World Cup group stage game, and we're saying signature win, right? It's a massive step in the right direction for confidence, for Pochettino's ideology within the team, right? Building the foundation, but also players have grown under Pochettino. He look at some of the guys that we're seeing. Like I look at Alex Freeman, where he was last year to now as a 21-year-old, and the confidence that Pochettino has given him on the pitch. Diego Luna. You know, I look at Sebastian Berhalter, what he's been able to do with Vancouver, now has been able to start under Pochettino, giving him what he wants. And
Max Arston,
another one. But I think what I'm getting at is there's a lot of emotion as he's kind of had to mold this group from back to, you know, the Nations League failures to where they are today. And a lot of the conversations always around, let's be honest, Christian Pulisic and Weston McKennie and Tyler Adams, the bigger names, and the kind of the expectations that go with those guys. When you hear about, hey, you don't have your regular players, what's up with all the? And he's like, hold on, nothing's guaranteed here, which is what he's trying to message to everybody, no matter who you are. You either fit the plan and you give up the country everything you have, or hey, I'm proving to you that I'll find someone else to do what you can do. who will give me what this team needs. And I think that's where he's drawing his line in the sand, saying this is the message for everybody. We don't have a Leo Messi. He said that multiple times. If you have a Messi, you have an Mbappe in your team, okay, we can have that type of discussion. But he doesn't consider Christian at that level, or Tyler or Weston or Weah or any of these guys. So I completely understand where he's coming from. And yeah, he's backing up his method.
Yeah, imagine those guys that are listening to that just played and knowing that publicly he's getting feisty. And like, I essentially love these guys. I support these guys that went and did the job over these 2 games. And the underlying message that sends to that group that just performed. And then also, Cello, what I want to talk about is the underlying message it sends to the players that weren't there, because now these players are going, holy shit, we got to get back in there. We got to prove ourselves. And now you've lifted that mentality and intensity and urgency that he's been wanting from the very beginning.
He lifted the ceiling.
He did. Yeah, he lifted the ceiling.
I agree with both of you. I think when, unfortunately, you guys have been around sports and we know the culture of soccer. If it's not Christian and Weston and Tyler Adams and certain players, then we consider it a B team. It's natural. We all do the same thing. So I get where he's coming from. He's trying to change the culture in this country, saying anytime you represent the U.S. team, that's the best team we're going to put out there. That's the first team. So I like that message. I do. If I'm a player in Europe, I'm a little worried because I saw the standard of what the mentality, the energy that they brought to this game. Because when you go out there, the first thing to do, if you don't match their intensity, you're screwed from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And this team from the beginning has been matching everybody's intensity. So yeah, you know what? I think there is a clear message that this is what you have to do. These are the parameters that I want you to do it under my tactics. And if you can't do that, this team right here proved it, that there's a Berhalter, there's a Freeman, there's a Tessman. Let's be honest, that kid, you know what I mean? Arston. So there's players that can surprise you that could be on that roster. And there could be some surprise guys that are starting because, listen, there's no longer, unless you have Messi or Ronaldo, there's not a place for soccer where 10 guys have to run their balls off. It's not okay anymore to have, we've got 8 guys that'll work their ass off and 2 guys that can relax. It doesn't work like that anymore, not in international soccer. So I love the message he's sending. And I like the clear, like Charlie said, the clear line drawn in the sand. This is what I need from this team every day. And if you can't bring it, and I didn't even mention Reyna. I love Reyna. I don't care what all the problems that have happened, but him as a player, please. So the message is very clear that to Reyna, to Pulisic, to Tyler, to Weston, this is the standard now of what you need to do here.